No.
Okay, I caught that though. 2 minutes in, forgot to swap the scene switcher.
All
There we go. Yeah, I had it
right.
disabled because it likes to, when just like doing the vetoes and stuff, it likes to move things around, so.
Right.
Alright.
Sorry about that, Wanted.
Yes, we do apologize.
Yeah, so both players are going for the 1 Rax, 1 Gate expand here. Nobody's going for any crazy proxies. We don't see any very clear 1 base or 2 base plays right now. This could very well turn into a super macro game. Reaper on the way from Bunny.
Yeah.
Whereas Cybernetics Core just about to finish up here from PtitDrogo, and we'll see what's going on with that.
Cerulean Fall, like you said, it could go into a long macro game. I mean, it is like the biggest map. And generally, Protoss players are pretty comfortable with that. And Bunny really is one of those strong mid-game players. So, I mean, PtitDrogo, it's possible that he'll be able to make it into the late game on here, but I don't think he's going to, exactly cruise into it. I bet Bunny's going to be bringing something out versus him.
I don't know if we're running with a 2-minute delay now that you're putting that in chat.
I don't think we are. It's not a big deal. These guys are all very honorable, so...
Exactly.
And it's also nicer for when mistakes like that do happen. It doesn't take as long to fix.
It gets corrected fast. Ah,
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, nothing much going on here. Just a factory in production for Bunny. We have a Reaper kind of trying to get something done while not getting shot in the face by this Adept. Adept hoofing it on down to see if maybe she can kill a couple Marines, get some scouting off here inside the Terran base. And it's an Oracle on the way from PtitDrogo.
Yeah, that Adept just shades right on in. Gonna get the Marine, and it's actually just 1 Marine out for Bunny for now, so, I mean, PtitDrogo gets the Marine, gonna be able to get out, it looks like. Just for a bit of damage on that Adept, but then there's that Cyclone on the way. The ultimate Terran defense unit since the latest patch.
Defense, nothing. This is for offense, man.
No way.
I've seen Innovation use these things in the early game against Protoss. They're so good.
I'll admit.
They're not amazing into the mid and the late game, but in the early game, especially if you rush for that Maglev Accelerator upgrade where they do 800 damage on the lock-on, they wreck Stalkers. They destroy Immortals. They can take down shield batteries. They're so good.
Okay, I think this may just be for defense, but it can really go both ways with the Cyclone. But Reaper gonna get away from that Adept, very nicely done. But here's the Oracle coming on into the main base, and Cyclone just getting right into position so far. Oracle avoids that Cyclone, but he basically says, well, there's a Cyclone there, I'm leaving.
Yep, absolutely shuts down Oracle play to see a Cyclone in there. The lock-on ability is way too strong. You're not going to get any kills. Maybe you'll get a couple kills, but you'll die. And I don't think the Oracle wants to die. He wants to be alive for future revelation and whatnot. Third base on the way from PtitDrogo. Stim getting started by Bunny. And yeah, I don't see anybody gearing up for a huge attack. I really expect this to go into fairly mid/late game.
Yeah, Bunny is powering up on his 3 racks before his 3 bases, so fairly early Stim. It's not like he went 3 CCs, but PtitDrogo got up his very quick Nexus, so he's got to be comfortable with his defense. And what did he get there? Did he just kill the Cyclone? Yeah, he did. And that's something.
There are enough Marines to shoo those guys away.
Yeah, fortunately for Bunny, he did have that sort of secondary defense. But no, those new Cyclones, while they put out a lot of damage, they're also a lot weaker.
True.
So, I mean, things like that definitely can happen. 1 Oracle can't really kill him. 2 Oracles definitely can, though. Now PtitDrogo actually going up to 3, but oh no.
3 Oracle.
I'm not sure what that was about, to be honest. Did he just trade out that Oracle for the Widowmine?
I don't think he did, but he was happy to take the trade once it happened, I guess.
Yeah, that looked kind of like fairly intentional, though. Like it stopped, and then he's like, okay, this 1 Oracle's going forward right into the mine, but no, yeah, I guess at least he does get the Widowmine as compensation. A few Marines moving out for Bunny is pretty interesting. I guess maybe going for like an odd Marine run-by or something like that.
Yeah, it's very weird to see unsupported Marines at this stage of the game. You think there are at least a couple medevacs. Maybe they're waiting for the medevacs, as there are 2 in production right now back home.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is like an odd positioning for some Marines here. It's possible the Oracles will fly over. I don't know. Mind games to the max.
I was thinking he's probably gambling. The Oracles are going to fly over that, and he'll just take them out. 2 almost do,
He wasn't too far off, or isn't too far off yet. Oh, are you kidding me? Bunny. Oh, my God.
Oh, he got it.
That is so sick from Bunny.
The second one, too.
Okay, he tags those other Marines, but the fact that he's lost 2 of his oracles means there's no stasis wards out for PtitDrogo, and stasis wards definitely do halt the Terran army, so he's gonna have to make do without. He's got a lot of sentries, but this is stimmed bio moving on in right now. It doesn't have any upgrades or anything, but stimmed bio generally beats unsupported gateway units, and that's exactly what PtitDrogo has.
100%. I mean, this isn't generally even close. Sentry goes down. Another sentry getting shots in the face there too. Stalkers getting killed. A little bit overstimmed is the army, but they do have the medevacs healing right now. They're getting healed quite nicely. Stalkers cannot stand against this at all. And if you retreat from them, they'll just kill all of your probes. Fantastic hold here, actually, as the probes coming in here to fight probes, or Stalkers going down. Medevacs healing up. Enough Stalkers to hand with this? I don't actually know. Medevacs are refusing to die. More reinforcements coming in. It's 102 to 68 supply. I think Bunny has this one.
Yeah, did Bunny just take it like that? PtitDrogo, I guess not really having enough for that bio push. If he had a stasis ward on the ground, Bunny couldn't have just stimmed in like that, but he did not. I mean, he's still alive for now. He has traded out with a lot of the bio. He will actually be able to clean this army up. Getting all the medivacs is a very nice touch. Cleans up the Marauders too, so he's not dead. But he took a fair bit of damage there. 16 probes, and his army count is just so low. He's literally just got those 7 Stalkers and charge on the way. No robo units being produced or anything like that. And that makes it very dicey for PtitDrogo because gateway units not the best. Ooh, and good reaction
Blink.
there.
Fantastic blink. Yeah, I might have called that too soon, LaughNgamez. It's 56 to 54 workers. Sure, he lost all those, but probably because he just overprobed, wasn't prepared for the attack. Could afford to sacrifice those. He got the 3rd base up way before Bunny did. He's going for charge on his Zealots. And sure, the army supply is in favor of Bunny now, but PtitDrogo should be able to get up a bunch of Zealots, which are perfect for the situation. And I really feel like he's kind of stabilized at this point.
Yeah, Bunny has made a fair few Widow Mines, though, and he's coming on in. It was very nice that PtitDrogo did kill off a lot of the medivacs. He killed off 4 medivacs, and so when he did push Bunny back, Bunny wasn't able to push in again as soon as possible. PtitDrogo, though, I am still a little bit concerned. We may just see Bunny, you know, sort of stake his claim and then just sort of bounce around these Widow Mines, which PtitDrogo may have a hard time engaging. Here we go. Bunny, he's just going to engage these Zealots. They either have to commit or not. And so PtitDrogo is sort of in this awkward spot. He's really in limbo. He decides to commit onto these mines, but eating so many shots there. And the buffer for the Stalkers is rapidly disappearing. And suddenly that's it for PtitDrogo. GG. The secondary push gets it done.
Yeah, the Widow Mines were exactly what Bunny needed there on that second push. The Zealots didn't do much. Every time they charged in, they took Widow Shine shots right to the face. Got cleaned out pretty nicely, and then when there's only Stalker remaining versus Marine Marauder with medevac support, we've seen that battle a million times, and it's always Marine Marauder. So good game there. Bunny takes game 1, and we'll see what happens in game number 2 here.
That was just like so mechanical from Bunny. He's like, okay, gonna catch your Oracle. You don't have any oracles, so I'm just going to stim on in here and GG.
Yep.
We'll get everyone on into the game, and then we can get on to the next one. Of course, it is a best of 5, so you got a little bit of room to drop a map here and there. Just not 3 of them. You're not allowed to drop 3 maps, so.
Traditionally, that's how that works. I mean, there are sometimes exceptions, but.
Alrighty, both players are ready though, so we'll load right on into it. Thanks everyone for tuning on in. No, yeah, like that was actually just such a sick play from Bunny. That was just parking out the 6 Marines, catching the Oracle, and then the fact that PtitDrogo used like a Revelation on those 6 Marines instead of going home and throwing up a Stasis Ward right away. That could have been what did him in, I don't know.
Could have been. I just don't see Bunny blundering into a stasis and having half his army locked up.
It slows the Terran down, though. That's the main thing. Like, they can't just stim on top of you like they like to do.
Slows it down for sure.
Here we are. This guy, playing for Team Blazer, pardon me, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's Bunny.
And then from Team Iron Chain in the top left here on Parasite is going to be the red Protoss player. It is PtitDrogo.
All right, just double checking, seeing Switcher doing its job there.
Yep,
I mean,
sure looks like it.
PtitDrogo, like he probably had this entire game plan. He really was relying on a lot of gateway units there. Like he got his +1, got his blink, then was going to go into his charge and whatever later tech. But Bunny just opening with those, just with that 2 base, 3 racks for starters, and then coming across the map. PtitDrogo not quite ready. Like blink would have been done 10 seconds later, but. Of course, 10 seconds is a big difference in StarCraft 2, so.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes less than a second can win you a game or lose you a game. So 10 seconds is an eternity for sure.
Okay.
All right. So again, no proxies. I'm surprised to see that. I've seen a lot of proxy in Homestory Cup and in BlizzCon from Terrans lately, but
I like
Bunny
it.
says don't need it. Yeah, me too. They're way fun.
We've had our share of proxies for a while. The end of like the WCS season was getting pretty crazy there.
It's just, I don't know, it's kind of fun to play the mind games, especially against Protoss. The number of times I saw a Terran just throw up a barracks just outside his base, but not inside his base, so the Protoss would wonder where the proxy was. It always made me laugh when that happened.
Yeah, it's funny. The meta of StarCraft 2 is truly something funny. One Terran's like, hey, I'll do that, and then all the other Terrans are like, hey, I'll do that too.
Very,
and then,
very
as a result,
excitable.
Everyone else has to do it. Now, PtitDrogo, being a bit of a nuisance with his probe, ultimately has to run on out.
Yeah, recognizing there is a Reaper just about to complete here.
Yeah,
no big deal, but he does see the expansion coming down and recognizes there's no crazy one base or a proxy coming from Bunny. And the probe might make it home, taking a bit of a direct route out of here.
I mean, I guess it's all sort of just like kind of random whether the probe goes home, whether the Reaper checks a different position. I actually cast a series. It was for the second qualifier of WESG. I think it was Bunny versus Parting. Or maybe... I can't remember. It all blends together, but basically the summary was Bunny had the worst luck. Ooh. He had the worst luck getting the probe.
That's hilarious. Gets it home. Stalker out to chase the Reaper away. That's funny stuff, man. Every probe matters. You gotta commend PtitDrogo for making sure that every probe survives.
Yeah. Yeah, I think someone actually did the math on that too, that it's definitely worth the recall.
Well, I mean, as Terrans always say, calling down, a scan is 1 mule, which is 300 minerals, so...
Yeah, exactly. Things like that cost money. I guess it really depends how it works out into the build, too. Whether you're spending your money so that it's fine cutting the probe, so in a way the recall's worth it, because you wouldn't have been building a probe that would have been getting chronoed. I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm sure PtitDrogo knows exactly what he's doing, but once again, we're seeing Bunny. Relatively fast stim pack. He opened up with the 2 barracks last time, eventually threw up a 3rd, got up the Cyclone, so seems to be a pretty similar build to the last game, and we'll see how PtitDrogo is going to open up this game. He's already got a Robo this time.
Yep, robotics facility, immediate observer. He's so worried about those Widow Mines causing him problems. 1 coming down for the Scout, 2. It was 1 Cyclone into a Widow Mine from Bunny, so a good job getting that observation out quickly for PtitDrogo, and a bunker coming in too. Interestingly enough, he expects some kind of aggression out of PtitDrogo, but I really don't see it coming. He's still waiting on the robotics bay. It really can't come. There's no Blinkstalker attack at the very least.
Yeah, I guess Bunny just hasn't been able to scout, so he's got to play it a little bit safe. When you are tacking into the stim and, say, not making like siege tanks to open up or anything, the bio does have its vulnerabilities, so I really do like the bunker coming out of Bunny, but I'm also liking what I see out of PtitDrogo, the fast robotics bay really changing pace. Like, PtitDrogo in the last game, he had what, like, he had a good number of gateways. I'm not going to guess the exact amount that I think I saw, but he had a good number of gateways in the last game, but he delayed his Robotech and everything else, whereas this game, he could just be going right into something like Colossus or maybe Disruptors. And I really like that, because getting those units out quick really helps you out versus like a fast bio push if you can get up to one of those in time.
And check it out, Colossus on the way.
I love
robotics facility here. Yeah, definitely fantastic against large numbers of Marines. Not as good against the Marauders. The current count is 14 Marines to 1 Marauder. So pretty good choice there from PtitDrogo. Observer is scouting out what's coming out of the front door of Bunny, which is literally nothing right now. Bunny is playing extremely safe, extremely defensively, just really allowing PtitDrogo to do whatever he wants. Extended Thermal Lance on the way, making those Colossus. Getting a 3rd base up here too. Bunny doesn't seem to have any interest in going for a 3rd base right now. I don't see a command center in that production tab. And yeah, very traditional little Stalker Sentry Colossus play. Reminds me of Wings of Liberty. We'll see how this works out for the Red Protoss.
Oh, I love this so much. The Colossus, they got their slight buff, but then someone like PtitDrogo on a larger map like Parasite, he's very good at just taking those good engagements, very good with his force fields. He's even got Stalkers in his main base to intercept a potential drop coming out of Bunny. But I love this opening way more than the gateway openings that we sometimes see Protoss go for. And in that last game, PtitDrogo opened up with the more gateway-heavy style, and he just died, whereas unless he makes a major misstep, Bunny is not going to be able just to dive on top of a Colossus that's guarded by sentries.
No, definitely not. Cyclone pushing in might be a little extra DPS if he can hang at the back and focus down the Colossus, but shouldn't just stand there and die in the hands of PtitDrogo. Extended Thermal Lance is so almost done right now. Concussive Shells and Combat Shield are timed to finish at about the same time for Bunny, and I think that's when he's going to try to hit. Where are you, Extended Thermal Lance? It is needed so much right now. Blink coming in as well. More and more probes, another Colossus on the way. But here goes nothing. 2 Colossus defending with a shield battery, couple sentries for that Guardian Shield, a small attack. Sneaking into the natural here, too. So multi-pronged harass here from Bunny, and here we go.
Yeah, he was attempting to drop, but in the end just decided to push into the natural since PtitDrogo was ready for it. But look at this, Bunny just seems to be heading on home for now, maybe looking for a different angle. But PtitDrogo, he's got up that extended thermal lance, getting into his own +1. And the longer this game goes on, the less vulnerabilities he's going to have. And so yeah, now Bunny, he's still got this bio. Of course, he's going to want to try and get something done with it. Looks like he's planning a mine drop while this is going on. But for now, not able to get anything done.
No, getting a third base up too. He is definitely behind though in economy. 63 to 53 workers. Third base just now popping for Bunny. PtitDrogo's had his for what feels like 5 minutes at this point. Working on upgrades, getting Warp Prism. Templar Archives getting tossed down here, whether it's for Storm or for Archons. Both are pretty good. This drop is in trouble. Where's the Blink? It's not done yet. Oh, Blink kept that alive. The lack of Blink, rather.
Okay, but here we go. Bunny, he's looking for that sort of play to make, and here he's going to be boosting into the main base of PtitDrogo, but now his stalkers are all out of position, or and I imagine he's going to go into the main base, but oh, did it?
Yeah, there's an observer down here in observation mode that saw it coming in.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, and we'll see. PtitDrogo, yeah, immediately warps in units as that drops incoming. Now, usually Terran's trying to do more than one thing at once, so Bunny is testing the waters, but PtitDrogo seems to be splitting pretty adequately for now. And Bunny is dropping his main base. It's actually getting a good number of probes. Is he actually going to get a forge with this? This is actually so much damage. Wow.
Denies armor level 1 and gets out with his life.
That's actually insane. Really impressive for that drop since PtitDrogo knew about it. But here comes in another push for Bunny. We'll see if this one has as much success. PtitDrogo warping in units, just trying to stall this army, really prevent it from getting too much damage done. Zealot's getting a little bit of face time here, but charge isn't done, so they're not able to connect as quickly as he'd like. And Bunny gets 14 workers.
Yeah.
And gets out with a fair few of his medivacs, or so far. There's only 2 stalkers here.
Where's the Blink? 4 stalkers. More stalkers coming in. There's the boost. This chase.
Oh.
It's like a car chase right now in a movie.
Yeah, if PtitDrogo gets this, it'd be huge, but we'll see. Okay.
Oh, he blinked away.
Yeah, he goes home, but is PtitDrogo moving out? This is a bit of an odd move out.
This is bad. This
seems like everything went in the wrong direction. Looks like there might have been. Oh yeah, another medivac was.
Okay,
there.
But
That's
the drop right on top of the Colossus. Not quite willing to do that. I don't think he has quite enough.
Yeah. Oh, but here he comes in with the rest of his units from behind it. Oh no, PtitDrogo.
Oh no, the Colossus picking up the one, but no, the Warp Prism gets picked out of the sky by the Vikings there.
Oh, and then the offensive
the
blink.
Vikings to fight.
Yeah. Losing a lot. PtitDrogo, that was a major misstep. Leaving the Colossus unguarded. That's like Protoss 101 to not let that happen.
I mean, he had a couple sentries with him, but yeah. Effectively unguarded.
Yeah, he was pretty far out on the map just to be chasing down some medivacs.
Yeah,
I mean, Terrans are pretty slippery. Just, I know you want them, but you gotta let them go. Now, PtitDrogo in a bit of a rough spot here.
Yeah, being down 2-0 in a best of 5 is never ever where you want to be. If you have to make a choice as to where you are in a series, don't do that. But no. Yeah, it was just he chased those medivacs out so far and then split his army, left his Colossus in danger. Bunny was able to bring up an army from his front door, stim on it, and the Colossus died, and that was pretty much it at that stage. So interesting, weird, kind of out of character move there, I'd say, from PtitDrogo. Usually he's so much more careful with his units.
Yeah, he was keeping it together there, but then it's just like, nope, gonna move out on the map, get caught out, which is rather unfortunate for him because, like, he had really, like, he took a bit of damage there. He lost his forge, but he was in no means like super behind or anything like that. And
right,
yeah, he was just trying to survive, reach that late game Protoss. He had the 3 Colossus, but then catching the 3 Colossus was so nice for Bunny, and the second that happens, that's really it for Terran. Or for Protoss, pardon me.
He'd invested so much into those Colossus. He needed them versus the Bioground army of Bunny, and once they were gone, it was just Stalker, Zealot, Sentry, and we saw how well that went in Game 1. So can't necessarily blame him for tapping out. Army supply was just ridiculously in favor of Bunny right there. Looks like it's going to be Port Alexander for the next map, which is, again, one of the new maps in the map pool. It's got a lot of boxes all over the place. Otherwise, not too distinctive, honestly, but as far as the visual style goes.
All right, here we are. We're loading on into game number 3. We were talking about how Parting versus Zanster could be the quick series, but Bunny may be trying to make this one the quick series, actually. So here we are. It's a best of 5, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. Representing his new team well so far, it's Blazer's Bunny.
Yeah, where he wants to be. Top left-hand corner from Team Iron Chain and Germany. It is the Red Protoss player, PtitDrogo.
Okay, we'll see what he's got to do. Because I feel like he definitely has the stuff in order to take someone on like Bunny. Like, I was not expecting a clean sweep when I thought about this series, and so we'll see. Like, PtitDrogo's just been playing straight up, but Bunny has managed to find these opportunities.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would consider right now for the Protoss versus Terran matchup, for the Terran to be a little bit at a disadvantage here, but Bunny definitely not showing that today. Just making it happen with Bio. Marines, Marauders, not really making much use of the new Cyclone, not really making a whole ton of use of the Widow Mines either, especially in that last game, but we'll see. Once again, no proxy from Bunny.
Wonder if we'll see some drilling claws.
Yeah,
I've always got my eyes out on that lately, because that's honestly all I've been doing in my TvPs. I've just been rushing drilling claws, and then you drop the Protoss, and their reactions are so fine-tuned for the usual mine drops that they don't expect them to burrow so quick, and then they lose all their probes. It's great.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is the burrow so fast. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough.
When you're playing with Widow Mines, it's a pretty big difference. It makes, it's a little difference, but it makes all the world a difference. Anyway, still seems like PtitDrogo just opening up normally. Same with Bunny. This probe moves right on in, confirms the Nexus, but then gonna have to get on out of there because that Reaper's already on his way out. We'll see if he gets it this time.
Looks like no, taking the wrong direction. The probe is going to go ahead and escape with his little probey life there. Factory on the way from Bunny back home. And yeah, just kind of scouting around, checking for proxies, maybe trying to find if the probe is hiding out in this corner of the map, but definitely not. Once again, PtitDrogo just going for what he's gone for before here. Going for the 1-gate expand, getting his warp gate out as soon as he can, and then teching up to that second level as fast as he can. Some different choices here we've seen so far. Quick Sentry, this time out of the Protoss player, as the Reaper isn't much interested in making a beeline across the map. He's just really, really interested in trying to find that probe and making sure he doesn't have any proxies ruin his day.
Yeah, being very careful. Now, looks like we will see Bunny. What's he gonna get? Is it gonna be a barracks or a 3rd CC? Because he's building up a fair bit of resources. Okay, it's a starport. I was wrong completely. His mineral count was going up a bit. But yeah, changing things up a little bit this game. Not going for that barracks right away, that second barracks. So not rushing out Stim as quick as he did in the other games. Instead, just getting a fast factory with a tech lab. And then marine production. So we could be seeing a bit of an earlier push here coming out of Bunny, perhaps.
Yep, sure could. Looks like PtitDrogo needs to be ready for something, but he's going for a Warp Prism, which generally indicates some kind of aggression out of a Protoss player, and we'll see that happening. Stalker's in production. Going for, just continued Stalker. More Warp Gates coming on in here, too.
Yeah, this is like going to be a 3-gate pressure, it looks like, from PtitDrogo. And I always like this, but versus something like Bunny's opening up with a Cyclone. And then just all of this bio. I mean, we've all seen how well Stalkers and a Warp Prism can do microing back versus non-stimmed Marines, but this is exactly why Bunny is getting the bunker. in order to be safe from that, and we'll see if it's going to be able to do the job it needs to.
Yeah. Raven in production here from Bunny too. I do like the new Raven. I mean, they didn't take away any damage that the armor missile does, but still, auto turrets are really, really good. Interference Matrix is fantastic too. Here goes nothing. Going to be a Stalker push with Warp Prism support. 1 sentry for that Guardian Shield, and here we go. The SCVs are not in position to save the bunker, and it does go down. The Marines evacuate just in time here, but they are not in a position to help. Cyclone use the lock-on ability to try to take down one of these Stalkers. SCVs fighting here too. And yeah, man, the Cyclone doing that bonus damage versus armored stuff is really useful. And Bunny looks like he's able to push this back at the very least.
The Cyclone goes down though. And PtitDrogo is just keeping all these units alive. Probably going to lift up those Zealots targeted by the mine. Yeah, this is actually so sick coming out of PtitDrogo. This is exactly what he had in mind with this push. And Bunny just not ready for it, and suddenly the snowball seems to begin. There is a tank he can fall back to, though.
Yeah, that tank is huge against these Stalkers for sure. He needs to protect it. Bunny does.
Oh, look at that. Would be nice. Walling it off.
Blowing up buildings. Yep, very nicely done. Coming in with the Warp Prism. It's not a great place to unload, but he's still going for it. Still going to unload something in here. Well, he thought about it anyway.
Yeah, I guess just getting a nice scout off as well. Got to be so careful, though. Those Zealots are unloading, getting right on top of this. PtitDrogo wants to get on in, but that wall doing exactly what it's intended for with Bunny. But PtitDrogo, he still can't feel too bad about this push. He's got his 3rd on the way as Twilight is forged, so he's teching behind this now. And he killed off 10 workers in that attack, killed off the Cyclone, and then, yeah, killed off a mine. So a nice little bit of damage, and the main thing is that he scouted Bunny hadn't even started his stim pack yet. It's literally just starting now, so that's actually really huge for PtitDrogo, identifying that. He knows the timing for any sort of follow-up attack that could come out of Bunny, really.
It's delayed, yeah. It really doesn't want to move out without that. Templar Archives getting tossed down immediately. Haven't seen any Storm from PtitDrogo in the series yet, but it'd be nice to see some of that. Maybe some Archon play too with their bonus damage versus everything biological, which is what we're seeing from Bunny for the most part here.
+1 armor on the way for PtitDrogo, getting up his charge, then Templar Archives, and yeah, then Bunny just sort of macroing up a little bit behind this, getting up his charge, or getting up his stim combat shield, building up a tank kiln, but any move out is going to be late. PtitDrogo, by being on the offensive, he bought himself a lot of time, but maybe Bunny is looking to move out now. His stim still about 60 seconds off or so. Once he does have that, he will be looking at a pretty powerful 2-base, as he is on 5 racks 2-basing here, but we'll see what PtitDrogo is going to have to hold on. Getting up Immortals, getting up Archons, going to have his +1 armor charge as well.
Yeah, I love those Archons. Just so good. Good splash damage versus air and ground.
Warp Prism coming into the natural Bunny. PtitDrogo waits. Bunny's now out on the map, but suddenly there's 4 Zealots dropping into his natural here, and he could be in a lot of trouble. These Zealots, there is good reinforcements for Bunny to deal with them, but they're getting a bit of damage done. Look at the size of this Warp, and oh my god, he's gonna get stim, is he?
He's gonna get it.
Oh, that is massive for PtitDrogo.
Denied the stim. All that bio on the map is now like, wait, what do we do now? Picking up, saving his guys. SCV's fortified. 11 of them have been taken down right now, and he just needs to go. I don't think Bunny can afford to go back home right now. He is restarting stim, but gonna take a while. Auditor's getting tossed down. Stalker's having problems. Immortals doing some good work here against the Marauders. If he can focus down the tanks with these Immortals, it'd be fantastic for him. 1 tank down, other tank down. Oh,
just about
3rd tank.
Oh, his army's wearing a little bit thin here. PtitDrogo has been cleaned up. He's warping in another round of Zealots, though, and the lack of stim is just so huge. 19 SCVs died on Bunny's side of the map. He goes for a drop, but PtitDrogo knows it thanks to his Observer. This drop is going to land here. Templar Archive's going to be a little bit exposed, but Immortal coming forward. More pylons already being queued up in case they get unpowered, but PtitDrogo has routed Bunny, and suddenly Bunny, he was planning his big 2-base attack, and PtitDrogo just takes the wind out of his sails by canceling stim pack.
That timing could not have been any better for him. He got it with literally seconds remaining on that upgrade. Left Bunny in a very precarious situation out on the map. He doesn't have a 3rd base. The 3rd base for PtitDrogo is up. It's doubling the worker supply for PtitDrogo versus Bunny right now, and that is such a huge advantage the longer this goes on. Bunny is dropping back into the main base. PtitDrogo are trying to do it anyway. There's enough Stalkers there to make him think twice about it. Blink on the way. Stim is almost done here for the second time in the game, but man, there is no sign of a third base from Bunny. He needs to win this thing now or he is done.
Yeah, he's looking for a drop, but there's nothing more sad for a Terran than dropping Marines without Stim Pack. Bunny feels like he has to do something, and you gotta try, right? But,
yep.
It's gonna be tough for him to get
dropping
something.
in the main.
Okay. Once again, these are Stimless Marines, though, and Stalkers don't fare too badly versus Stimless Marines. A drop heading into the natural as well, though. This could get something done for Bunny. Is he actually going to get enough damage done with these non-stimmed Marines? PtitDrogo warping in some Stalkers. He's lost 10 probes so far, but he's forced to drop in the main base out. He's now got to deal with the one in his natural, and Zealots and the rest of his army coming in to force this back. Meanwhile,
yeah, that was
counter damage getting done.
SCVs, you can't fight Zealots like that. That's real bad for you, buddy. Trying to get rid of that tank before they get cleaned out. They do finish off the tank and take down several Marines. Zealots, man, tanky guys. Yeah,
PtitDrogo, he does have the upgrade advantage right now. He's got that 1-1 compared to Bunny's just +1. Now, Bunny is coming in. He does finally have Stim for these Marines. He's got combat shield, so he is eventually going to be able to hit this sort of, I'm not going to say timing attack, because the timing is non-existent, but he's still coming in with a lot of Marines and tanks. PtitDrogo, though, not giving Bunny the time of day, blinks on top of the 2 tanks, focuses them down. That's all Bunny had tank-wise. And now his medivacs are even under fire, and it's just Marines versus Archons, and this is not looking too good for Bunny.
Every attack on those Archons is splash damage versus Marines. So much damage done. Stalker takes down another one of those tanks there. Archons are gone. Oh, medivacs getting focused down here. Not even worrying that much about it here. Immortal's trying to finish out at the same time, and that's your good game. And PtitDrogo does win game number 3. Will force a game number 4 here. Way to go for the German Protoss player.
Yeah, PtitDrogo. That managing to bring it back.
Yeah, and I think we said this before, but it all hinged on that Stim Pack timing, man. If that Stim hits, I think PtitDrogo has a much harder time holding the push from Bunny. Makes it happen much sooner, makes it stronger, more powerful, more terrifying. But it delays. There's no third base behind it for Bunny. He's not planning on going for one at all. And in the end, PtitDrogo able to hold on, third base behind it, defend a couple drops, defend the big push, and does force another game here.
Next map going to be Automaton coming out of these players. Now, yeah, that's definitely the PtitDrogo I wanted to see. As, like, we know he's got the stuff, and going for that sort of unique Protoss timing there was so awesome. Canceling the Stim, that was a 1000 IQ play right there.
Yep, genius on his part. So nice job, PtitDrogo, showing why he's the second ranked player in the WCS standings. He's very good at this game. The best Protoss player, less foreigner in the world. Oh man, what do I keep?
Okay, so let's see that these players are ready. And they are. We'll see. Is PtitDrogo going to be able to bring it back?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see here as the game is loading on up. But thanks for joining us today. Falcon Paladin with you as well as LaughNgamez. You can find our YouTube channels and Twitters on the screen here and in the top right of the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us on your Saturday night or Sunday morning.
Alrighty, but he's put 1 on the board. Can he tie it up? It's Iron Chains, PtitDrogo.
And on the right top-ish side of the map, it's the Blue Terran player. It's Bunny. Both players are thrown out the good look, have fun there. And still no real signs of a proxy here from the Terran player.
I like it. Shows confidence out of Bunny.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. Not that it necessarily, to me, screams a lack of confidence to proxy. It's pretty strong, especially if the Protoss can't find it. But anyway, here we go. Pro moving on out. Again, you worker scout if you play StarCraft at any level. The Protoss do it. The Terrans do not do it. They wait for the Reaper. The Zerg hardly ever does it. But man, if you can find a proxy, if you can find some kind of a crazy one base all in that you would never be aware of unless you scouted, it will make you feel so much better. and help you win games that you would other lose.
PtitDrogo coming on in here with his probe. Gonna begin harassing. Just confirm the barracks is in Bunny's main base. Of course, the probe won't hang around for too long before it gets shooed away. And then the one thing that I do like to note in this game, low ground wall off coming out of PtitDrogo. This is something that's debatable to do versus Terran, basically just because of the Reapers. You generally want to have your production near your probes, so your first Stalker or Adept will pop out near the probes in order to keep them safe, but oh, look at this, PtitDrogo being such a pain.
There we go, forced to get another SCV off the line here to finish construction. SCV goes back to build a supply depot. He's injured, but he doesn't get Workman's comp. Definitely not. He is forced to build another building. Yeah, Adept here should be able to hold no problem versus this Reaper that is screaming his way across the map as fast as he can right now. And that is just a one level, right? You can hop up from the low ground into the main base.
Yeah, you can. Just from this one cliff area right here.
Okay.
It looks sort of deceiving. That's one of the things you got to find out as when the new maps come out. If you play Terran, you're like, where can this Reaper sneak on in here? It cannot get in any of these places. Just right here.
Gotcha.
I have seen some Protoss players sort of go for a wall off here in order to really prevent the Reaper just from diving into the main base.
On that high ground, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those walls too. So many kinds of walls in StarCraft too, but for now the Adept getting on in here, not able to delay the CC the way that timing works out. He does get the SCV, which is nice. And then he comes on in here, sees the lack of, well, I guess, too much of anything, really. Just sees the reactor, so he knows some Marines will probably be popping out in a second. Sees the tech lab on the barracks there, so he's likely going to assume, okay, you're opening Cyclone like you did that last time. And PtitDrogo this game opening up with a Robo once again.
Yep, really wants the detection. It does a great job against Widow Mines. Especially
Reaper's actually going to go down. That's a nice cleanup there for PtitDrogo.
Yeah, no more scouting for you at all. And it's a
Bunny in the dark. And look at that, a Warp Prism once again. Is he going for the same build he did last game?
It sure looks like he's intending to get something done with Stalkers and a Warp Prism. Which, I mean, it worked out, or the Zealots rather, more in that game too. They're the ones that took down that stim.
Ooh, that Adept. Gotta be careful. Oh, he cancels the shade. That poor Adept is gonna die to the Cyclone.
The lock-on is so good and doesn't take any hits at all.
Yeah, these Stalkers reveal themselves to the Cyclone, but, I mean, the Cyclone, it can kill off one of these Stalkers. PtitDrogo's been being too bold here, I think, right?
Sure can.
Okay, he saves it. Nicely done there. That's an interesting dynamic between those two units.
Yep, if you can cancel that lock-on, it's good for you, but it does take a while to do it, and you're taking damage the whole way. Twilight Council follow-up here from PtitDrogo.
Yeah, so he's already thinking about his transition, so starting that up a little bit sooner than he did last time. So he's not going to try and break the front this game. Just drop some Stalkers into the main base, it looks like. And I love this kind of play because Stalkers, they can focus down SCVs. They can always just be evacuated as long as PtitDrogo has good control, which I'm sure he will. Ooh, that Widow Mine was actually hidden there. I didn't see that till the last second, but...
That is a great position for a
Widow
Mine.
Yeah, that was fantastic for Bunny. As Bunny, he didn't get the scout off, but of course, seeing the Warp Prism, seeing the Stalkers says, okay, that's how you're opening up.
Yep, tells him exactly what he has to deal with. Tanks in production now. That stim is about 20 seconds from completing, working on +1 and getting a starport up is Bunny right now. So we're definitely going to see more of the Marine tank stim type stuff. Immortal production, Zealot charge on the way here from PtitDrogo too. Yeah, it feels like, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of splash damage here, but it will be the Zealots with the charge. Question is, how many Widow Mines will we have to deal with them? And currently, I think there's just the one from Bunny. Yeah, it's just the one.
It looks like PtitDrogo is going to be two-basing here for a while. He's throwing up 5 more gateways. His Templar Archives. Looks like he sent out a probe to start his third base. Bunny will be able to shut this down, though. And that probe, oh, actually escapes there, which is nice for PtitDrogo. Warp Prism's been harassing around a little bit, but no, PtitDrogo really is powering up on these two bases. He will eventually start up his third base, but the fact that he's going up to 8 gateways, a Templar Archives, charge, building up Immortals before he starts up his third base is really, really interesting for the PvT matchup, I guess. Just really getting prepared to intercept whatever Bunny's going to throw at him, perhaps. as pushing out as a Protoss with just like charge lots, Archons. Is it? I mean, it can work, but it's not necessarily the go-to style versus Terran. So he may just be waiting for Bunny to move out and then try and catch him, perhaps.
Yeah, especially where he's got the third base and Bunny doesn't. He has to assume there's gonna be something coming from Bunny at some point here. So sitting back and waiting seems like a pretty good strategy.
Yeah. Drogo's third base is a little bit later. Like in one of the games, he took a 4-minute third base. That was the first map, and then Bunny just came across the map and killed him. So really adapting here, getting prepared for this 2-base this time before expanding. Now getting up more High Templar, getting up more Immortals, so building up an Archon count. I'd like to see maybe a few more sentries in with this so that you can really lock in the Terran army, perhaps. But of course, he is spending a lot of gas on those Archons, so you don't necessarily have that.
Yeah, it's kind of one or the other thing here. So here comes the push from Bunny. He's got a lot of Marines. Let's count that. 31 Marines, 5 tanks,
yeah,
and
the
a
tanks
Cyclone.
And the Medivacs getting ferried in here as quick as possible.
Oh, meanwhile, getting some Zealot drops in the natural base. Just really, wow, 5 SCVs going down. This is actually slowing down Bunny's push. It's really halted in its tracks while this is going on right now. Tank sets up. But sometimes getting a Zealot into the mineral line while there's tank fire does more damage to your Zealots than anything else.
Yeah, 5 SCVs for a handful of Zealots is always a good trade. Oh, but the Widowmine kills off the Prism. And that is so nice for Bunny, not having to worry about that anymore. Now, PtitDrogo has kept an eye on this push. He sees that Bunny's actually going on home. Or at least sort of grouping everything up before he moves on out once again. But here we see PtitDrogo is moving out on the map because he wants to try and catch this army, it looks like. He knows Bunny's getting ready for this push, and this is one scary Terran army. All these tanks, SCVs even coming with it, but PtitDrogo, he now knows SCVs are pulled. That means time's on my side, so he really just wants to move out on the map, delay this army. That poor Cyclone just gets absolutely destroyed, and he is retreating, though, towards his third base. It's a little bit concerning if you just sort of stay at your third base and try and hold on, because if Bunny gets all 5 of these tanks sieged up, actually 7 now of these tanks sieged up, it can get very dicey for the Protoss. So PtitDrogo delaying his push a little bit is so nice, but here we go. PtitDrogo, he's not letting Bunny dictate the terms. He's diving right on in. So many Zealots spilling forward. Archons moving forward. He's now connecting with the tanks, and all the tanks are getting cleaned up. So suddenly the army of Bunny just getting absolutely shut down by PtitDrogo. The Zealots are all gone. The Marines are going to do their best to trade out versus this, and we'll see, but they're so low on health as they're overstimmed. And look at that, Bunny just taps out.
That last, that defense, I mean, I guess he attacked, but it was still a defense, was amazing. Amazing from the French Protoss player there. Just fantastic display. Recognizing, all right, so this is happening. We're going to deal with a big Terran army. He's got the high ground. Screw it. Let's go. Guardian shield up. Zealots in the front absorbing a ton of damage. The Immortals target firing down those tanks. The Archons just doing so much work there, even though they all ended up dead. It was a beautiful hold, and eventually 3 base to 2 base, and PtitDrogo forces the game 5.
Yeah, that's just so much adapting going on for PtitDrogo. As like we saw the first game, he went for a fast third Nexus, just died. This game, he was so prepared for that push of Bunny, and then when Bunny moved out, PtitDrogo just destroyed him.
Yeah, he had a couple of, he bought himself some time there, had a couple extra seconds.
That was very nice with that Prism.
Yep, the Zealot attacks were enough to slow down Bunny, just enough for PtitDrogo to get that army up and defend. And it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't a crushing. He had, what, a handful of Stalkers remaining at the end there, but he definitely won the fight, and that's all he had to do.
We're making sure both the players are ready before we get on into the next game. Final map, Kairos Junction. This series tied 2-2. PtitDrogo may be able to make the reverse sweep happen.
Man, first sweep, so hard to do, especially in StarCraft. And look, I mean, just the fact that there's a potential for this to happen is really awesome.
Yeah, I'm so glad though that PtitDrogo isn't just didn't just sort of roll over and get 3-0'd, because he definitely has the stuff, and we'll see. It's currently tied 2-2. Spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's Iron Chains PtitDrogo.
And spawning way in the top left, it is the red Terran player from Blazer. It's Bunny.
Okay. And now Bunny, he's sort of opened up pretty darn similar in most of the games, just planning on a Marine tank push, but PtitDrogo, he's gradually gotten better and better versus that as the series has progressed.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, it feels like he's adapting, growing stronger as the series goes on. I think Bunny might have to switch it up a little bit here. You can't just keep doing what he's doing.
No, yeah. I think you're definitely right about that. Like, yeah, it may work once or twice and you may be really comfortable with it, but when your opponent's comfortable defending it, that's when you're in a lot of trouble. And PtitDrogo, just with his warp prisms moving in at the right moment, just to catch the Protoss, just to catch the Terran player off guard, really take the wind out of their sails. And it's just, yeah, he's just playing really good in that regard, and we'll see what Bunny's going to do. I'm fine with playing sort of like aggressive or going for precise timings like that, but you got to have more than that one timing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially in a series where if a player's dealt with it more than once, they're prepared for it on some level. And this is where you need to switch it up. This is where you got to do something different, something to keep PtitDrogo on his toes. But it just looks like the same thing, man. It's a Reaper. It's an orbital command. It's going to throw down an expansion there at his natural base. Probe will scout it, see what's going on. And yeah, so far so good, honestly. PtitDrogo just able to sit back, relax, probe up, deal with the Reaper, and then see what comes.
Probe moves in, sees the command center, and just heads right on out. PtitDrogo, very comfortable with his openings, just gets his scout off, sends that probe home. We'll see if Bunny's going to check out somewhere else for it. It's always that game of, does that probe go somewhere else to try and avoid the Reaper? Or does he just go right on home? And looks like the timing's on this map. He's just going to get home. Look at that. Now, Reaper will dive on in.
Yeah, is there anything to stop this? Stalker just about to pop. Should be able to save that probe. Hero Stalker coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, perfectly timed there. Now, the thing is, PtitDrogo, he threw up a robo and actually canceled it, turned it into a Stargate there, which I was actually wondering about that. He threw up that robo right in the face of the Reaper. Bunny on his screen right now. That was indeed a robo building, but PtitDrogo changed it into a Stargate.
Yep, Stargate opening this time. We saw that in games 1 and 2. It didn't do a whole lot for PtitDrogo, but maybe switching it up here. Bunny might not be quite prepared for it, but we will see exactly how he deals with that one. Reaper trying to come back in. Stalker says, you know what? This is where you can hop up. So if you want to come in, go for it. But you're going to take a face full of Particle Disruptor if you do.
Is that what it's actually called? The weapon?
Yeah. Particle Disruptor.
The more you know.
I know, right? Really, a lot of words for a basic attack from a Stalker, but...
Yeah, I guess you could just say basic attack from a Stalker, but it doesn't sound quite as good.
No, and now, more of a mouthful.
This Oracle's on the way, but I mean, we sort of went on this bit of a tirade how Bunny needs to change things up, but he says, no, you know nothing. I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, man, bunker at the front and everything. One Cyclone.
Yeah, Widow Mine after it's fast stim on the way, and we'll see. I mean, Kairos Junction, a bit of a smaller map. We saw how quickly that probe traversed it, so while there's plenty of bases on this map and how it's larger, the main bases aren't that far apart for a push from Bunny, so maybe that's why he's opting to go for it again. But here comes in the Oracle for PtitDrogo, and is Bunny in position to deal with it this time? The Cyclone is there. Yep. Oracle just activates his beam, but then dives right on out.
Yeah, instant shutdown there. Third base coming up for PtitDrogo back home. He's been really good at getting that third up in most of these games so far.
Yeah, and this is more attuned to game number 1, in which he went for that early third around the 4-minute mark, and then Bunny, you know, he moved across the map and killed him, so got to be a little bit concerned. But then again, we'll see. As long as he keeps his Oracles alive, they can definitely buy him the time that he needs, because that's really how everything went wrong in that last game. Now here comes in the Oracles. They're actually going to engage these Marines.
Yeah, that's too many Marines. Get out.
Kills off 2 Marines.
Right, but keeping the Oracles alive, and that's what's key here.
That's the most important part, that's for sure, because you can constantly be tagging the army, throwing up Stasis Ward. I'm still pretty concerned for PtitDrogo opening up this way with the fast third Nexus. He's actually going to find the Cyclone, but has to get away from it.
No, we thought about it. The bunker isn't full, but I don't think it matters right now. There's too many Marines in close proximity there to dive in. But really, it's just kind of keeping Bunny on his toes. PtitDrogo gets his third base up. It's done. He's triple pumping probes right now. He's got a sentry on the way here, too, for base defense, getting charged for his zealots. And here comes a small push from Bunny. He's doing that same Marine thing we saw in game 1. Yep.
Yeah, we could be having a bit of a repeat here. And I'm concerned for PtitDrogo. He's getting into a Templar Archive, starting up 5 gateways. He has charge on the way. He's going for charge this game as opposed to game number 1 in which he got blink. And yes. Zealots, they are a little... I mean, Stalkers sort of have more finesse, I guess, but Zealots are... They're just more bruntish, I guess, at potentially diving on top of a push like this. Maybe the Oracles will come on in. Because really, the thing about this push from Bunny, it's a rather weak push. Like, as far as bio goes, there's not a ton of medivacs to support it. There'll be a few medivacs, but not a ton. And so PtitDrogo may just try and clean this up with one sort of fell swoop. He's throwing up a stasis ward to buy himself time. And he's already thrown up another one. Too. Ooh, look at that. Phoenix, too.
Oh! Did he try to draw that Widowmine shot into the medevac?
Here are those 6 Marines, though.
Wow, where did they come from? They just walked right in.
They did, like they own the place. Now,
all right.
PtitDrogo, he's routing the army on this side of the map, so he's forcing him back, but he lost 9 probes, and he's actually going to be losing more. 12 probes have gone down so far. Another Zealot coming in to help try and clean this up.
Yeah, there we go.
Cleaned up, but 12 probes died there.
But he's still got his 3 bases. He's still around 50 workers or so. I think he's okay. I think that was a fair trade. He kept his 3rd base, lost about 12 probes, and I'd say that's a fair trade for the Protoss.
Yeah.
Now he's on the on the warpath here. Going to accidentally find each other in the middle of the map. Revelation getting tossed down. Zealot trying to make something happen.
Wow, PtitDrogo really committing into this, but here comes in Bunny towards the 3rd base. Mines get caught in a stasis. 5 probes going down though, and he's right-clicking on this Nexus. PtitDrogo, he doesn't actually have anything. He's not warping in. He's really just committing into Bunny right now, but look at this. Bunny's just kiting back to the best of his ability. There's no Warp Prism to reinforce, which is the main issue for PtitDrogo. He's dropping in supply. He's lost his 3rd base, and now he's going to be getting forced back. He killed a couple of SCVs, but he doesn't have anything else, and Bunny doubling the army supply right now.
Yep, looking good. Everybody gets home from that mission, unloading, healing up the base down. 3rd base is now up for Bunny and not for PtitDrogo. Trying to... Oh, they do focus down the Archons. Zealots are present, but again, the kiting is fantastic out of the Terran player right now. Stalkers are trying to pick off the medevacs and make this harder for Bunny. Widowmine's taking out the rest of the Zealots there. A very overstimmed and injured army for Bunny, and he pulls back.
Yeah, PtitDrogo, he has to rebuild that 3rd base, though, and this is not a great situation for him. He doesn't have Psystorm or anything on the way, and he's just really able to warp an Archon Zealots. He's got the Oracle still alive, which is nice. He can keep an eye on this, but he may honestly just like fly into the 3rd and just tap on out. He's coming in with these Oracles. He's going to kill off a Mule, get a SCV or 2, but it's pretty grim for PtitDrogo. There's no way to sugarcoat it. He gets 2 SCVs there, loses the Oracle, but when Bunny comes on in for the next push, it's going to be very, very tough for the French Protoss.
Yep, it's looking scary right now. That 71 to 47 army supply in favor of Bunny. Got the Archons. I'd like to see him going for Storm here. Storm is just so good when your opponent's going this much bio.
Yeah, I guess he's unsure of whether he'd have the time to get into the Psystorm, though. And,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Bunny with a lot of Marauders, too, and it's just, there's going to be so much Terran. PtitDrogo planning his Zealot counterattack. I definitely like that. He doesn't have the Warp Prism, but look at that. Bunny getting up a fantastic wall. Plenty of units back at home that if these Zealots run in for, they are done for.
And Widowmine gets a... Oh, unburrows himself, actually. You want to save it for later, I guess. Didn't need it.
Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit worried about friendly fire, but those Zealots do actually get caught out. They didn't run far back enough. And PtitDrogo losing about 600 minerals worth of Zealot. And there's just so many Widowmines here for Bunny. Those Archons doing their best to tank, but these Zealots spilling forward, Widowmines are going to be connecting with them, and PtitDrogo's army is just going to wear thin here. GG, Bunny takes it, 3-2.
Nicely done. The Bunny fans in chat can wipe the sweat off their foreheads.
Yes.
Breathe a sigh of relief, because Bunny did manage to pull through in a series where they thought for sure he was going to win, and he did, but it was a lot closer than they thought, I'm sure. GG indeed. He will move on into the final here to play the winner between Zanster and Parting. which should be a ton of fun here. Just an absolute blast.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks to everyone for tuning on into Afreeca World number 27. That was a great series there between those two. Bunny able to advance, but yeah, as usual, we'll throw to a short break here while we, you know, track down the other players, and then we'll be having Parting versus Xanster. I'm not even going to try and predict that one, but it should be a great match. Thanks to everyone for tuning on in. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Be right back.